Good morning, you join me in my living room today. I'm in my living room because, as you know, we're in a bit of a lockdown and I can't go out, I can't see anyone, but I still want to make videos. So there's one thing that's been really annoying me on the Mazda, and that's the headlights. There is like this cloudy edge around the top of the headlights. I'm not sure if it's on the inside or the outside. Basically, if it's on the inside of the headlight, I've got to take the bumper off, open up the headlights by putting them in the oven and then prying them apart, which I don't really want to do. So I'm hoping it's going to be on the outside, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get rid of it from the outside. How am I going to get rid of it? Well, I've bought this turtle wax headlight lens restorer. Whoa. These are really cheap. I think this was 20 quid. No idea if it's going to work or not, but I thought whilst I'm sat here, not allowed to go out, might as well give it a go. It's sort of like a perfect opportunity to do it. Headlights basically go cloudy for two main reasons. One of them is because of oxidation. The headlights are normally coated with like a UV protective clear coat, usually like a synthetic sealant or a wax from the factory. And the UV light basically breaks down this sealant, as well as dirt and grime, like rubbing it away. A second cause of cloudy headlights is down to water vapour, and because the headlights are basically manufactured from two injection moulded halves, and these are usually clipped together and then sealed around the edge, the seal can perish and let water in over time, and this allows condensation to form on the inside of the headlight, especially with like a really hot headlight like a Xenon in the MX-5. So first things first, let's see what's in the box. We've got 118 millilitres of spray lubricant, 118 millilitres of clarifying compound, which is basically a microfine abrasive compound, a really flimsy plastic glove, which speaking from personal experience will probably blow away. And then we have a lens base coat wipe, a lens sealing wipe, and two sanding pads which have 4 faces to them in total, which we'll come on to later. So first thing to do is to wash the headlight. Funnily enough, Turtle Wax recommend Turtle Wax shampoo in their instructions. Small disclaimer for this video, I'm definitely no detailer. I sort of take pride in my cars always being used and being dirty, which is why I've never ever made a video about it before. And actually, just with a quick clean, the headlights are already looking pretty good. I really tried to get underneath the headlights and obviously didn't dry them off that well because that is soap under there. Step 2 is to mask off the headlight. Obviously we're going to be polishing this with a compound and then sanding it down with some sandpaper, and paint is definitely softer than the polycarbonate headlight lens and we don't want to be scratching that. As mentioned, definitely no detailer, you can see that with my masking technique. Better than not having it at all. And one extra bit just to make sure. So step 3, you want to apply a clarifying compound to a cotton cloth. Although you want to take the little foil cap off before you do that. In all honesty, I had no idea how much to use here, so I just put a little bit on to start with and then see how it went from there. And the instructions say to rub the compound over the entire headlight using firm pressure. I have no idea how firm pressure is. My firm is probably different to someone else's firm. Once all the compound has been rubbed away, you need to buff it with a different cloth, a clean cloth, preferably a cotton cloth. So as you can see, I'm being pretty firm and I'm pretty much just moving the whole car. It's probably also a really good idea to take your watch off of this so your watch doesn't scratch the paint. Now at this point you can leave the headlight like this and it does already look a lot better, and to be honest, for my headlights this is probably pretty good and I think most people would be really happy with this result. But for my own curiosity and for the purpose of this video, I wanted to see if I could achieve a better result with the sanding pads or not. So it is really hard to see through a camera, but there is a very slight haze still at the top of the headlight, and when you run your finger over it you can feel a texture difference. So moving on to step 4, you have to use the spray lubricant along with the sanding pads that we spoke about earlier. Now I can't find anywhere the different grit ratings on these sanding pads. I think that one's green, that one's blue, brown, purple. You want to apply the spray lubricant to the level 1 green pad and then to the headlight as well. And it does say to only use the pads in the areas that you want to restore. I ran all the way along the top of the headlight. You can actually hear the top of the sanding pad rubbing along the masking tape. This is where I'm really glad that I curled the masking tape underneath the paint as well. This is designed to be a wet sand process, so I kept lubricating the pad and the headlight as well. Now I probably did this for about 5 minutes before I moved to the second pad, which is a finer grit sandpaper. So step 5 is to switch to the level 2 pad, and you're meant to rub this back and forth at a 90-degree angle to the first pad. It recommends to do this for about 1 minute, but I did do it for a little bit longer just to cover the entire surface area. It's like a gold
residue on there, which is weird. They actually also put the numbers on them, so number 3's there, look, and number 4's there. That's useful. So, as you saw, I did just realise that they put numbers on these pads to help you tell which side is which is really good. I don't know why I didn't notice that earlier. So I just repeated this process, moving through the 4 different grades of sandpaper, switching my direction of sanding 90 degrees each time to the previous pad. Step 6 is to dry the headlight with a clean cotton towel. At this point it looks a little bit scary because obviously we've just sanded down the plastic, and this is why it's really important to only sand down the bits that need sanding down, as it saves you time polishing again later. At this point it's almost a repeat of step 3, reapply the clarifying compound and then polish up the headlight. Okay, I'll be honest, I've been polishing for about 40 minutes. Still not quite happy with it yet, so I'm gonna have some lunch. It's a bit of a shoulder workout, this one. Once the headlight is all buffed up and you're happy with the finish, it's now time to protect the headlight, because we've removed the factory UV protective coating with the polishing and the sanding that we've been doing. So this is one of the only problems I think with this kit, is that you have to restore both headlights because they only give you one sealing wipe and one cleaning wipe. It would be really useful if they could give you 2 of each, so that you could do each headlight independently. So I cleaned off the headlights with the cleaning wipe and then sealed them with the base coat. The instructions say that this base coat will dry in 24 hours. The base coat wipe had a really strange texture to it. It almost felt like the oil off a fish, but I'm guessing it's not good for you and that's why they supply the glove. All that's left to do now is to remove the masking tape and admire the results.
All in all, that took about 4 hours. I was messing around with the cameras, so it should take you less than that. I reckon between 2.5 hours to do that if you're going to do it by hand. A much quicker way to do that is going to be to use a power drill with either a buffer head on the end or a sanding attachment if you're going to sand it. If you do have a power drill with those attachments, I wouldn't buy this kit. I'd just buy the clarifying compound bottle. It's going to be much quicker and you'll probably actually get slightly better results as well. I'd love to know how long it takes with a power drill, probably about an hour tops. If you've done it before, leave a comment in the link below and let me know. I love reading through your comments. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the result. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.